Hey everybody, welcome to another video. I am Bernita and I just finished reading my first summer book of 2026. It is July the 3rd when I'm recording this, and last night I finished reading The Misconnection by Tia Williams, and oh my gosh, I was like, I have to do a video so we can talk about it. So I'm gonna look down at my notes and trying to balance both. But I just finished reading The Misconnection by Tia Williams. I'll pop it up on one of these sides of the video because I listened to it on Audible. So I know some people consider that Audible isn't reading, which I think Audible is reading. I think it counts as reading. I count it as reading. Yes, I love all of Tia Williams's books. I remember reading The Perfect Find with the yellow cover, 7 Days of June. Oh gosh. What's her other book? I read the other book in New York. Love Songs for Ricky Wilde. And then I started reading her other book. Now I gotta look it up. Okay, so Tia Williams's books that I have read. I read The Perfect Find. That was my first one that I read. I read 7 Days in June. I read A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. I read her YA book, her young adult book, Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends, and the most recent book, of course, The Misconnection. And earlier this year, I think, or late last year, I did start, I think it's her very first book, The Accidental Diva. This was like way back in the day. She wrote it in 2001, and it's set in like New York in early 2000s. I did start reading that one, but I didn't finish it. But anyway, I just finished reading The Misconnection, and when I saw Tia like start promoting it on her Instagram that she was, coming out with this book, I was so excited because I just love the way that Tia writes. She's this African American woman. She used to work in like the beauty and fashion industry. She lives in New York. I think she's from Virginia. I don't know, but I know she lives in New York with her family, and I just love the way that she incorporates like this kind of city girl life into the lives of her characters. And so in The Misconnection, it just came out, I think it came out in June, because I'm like, it's only the beginning of, it came out June the 9th. Yes, it came out June the 9th, and it's essentially this book about this career woman named Sasha, and she's a casting agent, and she is like getting on this airplane because she's going on this work trip to Paris, and she sits beside this guy in seat F, and so she's talking to him. They have like this long flight from Paris to New York, and they have like this instant connection, and she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm able to open up to him, and he's just this fantastic guy that I think I'm in love with. And so essentially they get off of the plane, and she does not have his information. And so after she returns from her trip, she's telling them, like her friends or whatever at work, like, I need you to help me find this guy because I had like this connection with him and I think he's my husband. Well, she sent it in an email and she messed up. She sent it to like the global team. Like they work for this fashion brand that's similar to Sephora, and they have offices in New York, but they have offices globally. And so she ends up sending it, and she starts getting all these emails like, hey, I can help you find your seat F mystery guy and all that. But before that, this is a spoiler video, by the way. I did not say that. Spoilers. So if you haven't read it yet, you can still listen to this video and then go read it because I want you to support Tia. But before she goes on her trip, she ends up visiting this like nail tech / palm reader girl, and the girl tells her like, oh, you're gonna find love, you're gonna find like this mystery guy, like be on the lookout, whatever that she tells her. And so of course then she gets in this flight and she's meets this guy, and it's like, oh my God, this is what the palm reader girl is talking about. So yes, so that's the premise of the book. And you just follow the ups and downs of her trying to find this mystery guy. She essentially hires this private investigator named Wes that she had worked with before, because she had like this traumatic issue in the past, and she had to hire a private investigator. And so she ends up finding Wes and hiring him again to help her find this mystery man in Seat F. She keeps calling him Seat F. So she's got all these people all over New York and globally, and Wes trying to help her find her mystery guy. And then you kind of learn that she and Wes have a past. There's like this romantic feelings between them. And so it's like, okay, Wes over here, mystery guy over there. And so it's just like this journey of her finding this guy. And so I pre-ordered the book on Audible, and then, like I said, I finished it last night, which would have been July 2nd, sorry. So I pre-ordered it. So it took me about a month, because I'll start books and then I'll like put it down and go do something else, or watch TV, or get stuck on TikTok or social media, and then go back to it. But I was seeing that my TBR list was growing, and I was like, okay, I need to do something so that I can, get these books off my TBR list. And if I'm posting on Instagram like, oh, I can't wait to read this book, then I actually need to read it. And so it was a really good book. I'm glad I did the audio book. I love audiobooks. I feel like they help me sometimes when I can't focus with reading physical books. And it had like some music in the intro and the outro, and I think the narrators were good. There was a narrator for Wes and a narrator for Sasha. And so it was a really good book. There were some frustrating parts for me, because I was, I'm like, okay, you and Wes obviously have a background. Like, why are y'all just not able to do this? Like, either gonna be with him or you're gonna be with Seat F. Like, and it was just, I felt like she was kind of going back and forth. But I also felt like Wes, I mean, you're a private investigator, so you have to be like strategic, and you're on it in details and stuff. And I feel like he was like self-sabotaging a little bit. But then when you read the book, you kind of learn about his background and why he self-sabotages. So there was frustrating parts where I felt like I was just like, oh my gosh, like, please just be together, like, come on. But then I don't know. I think I was like, well, if I rush it and I just want them to hurry up and be together, then that defeats the book, because it's like, okay, you got all these pages left, and what else is she going to talk about? So I do find that reading is helping me like to slow my brain down, whereas I'm used to watching reality TV and things on social media, and we're used to getting things quickly. Reading forces me to use my imagination and to slow down and not want to rush to the end, because I find that I've been doing that lately. And so that's why I've been really trying to pick up reading again, watching a lot of booktubers and book pages that I follow on social media to inspire me to find more books to read, and talking to my mom. My mom is always like, oh, I found this free book on my Kindle, or reading on my iPad or whatever. And so I'm really trying to slow down and just take advantage of this beautiful summer weather that we have, even though it is extremely hot. But hey, I'm gonna be in the house anyway, so why not use it as time to read? And so I'm really trying to slow my brain down and not rush things, because like I said, I was getting frustrated, and I was like, okay, y'all, like, come on, y'all know each other, like, just be together. But I was like, okay, we can't rush the book because she's got more story to tell. And so that was kind of frustrating for me. And then outside of that, I feel like that was really the only frustrating part. You'll have to read it for yourself and let me know in the comments your thoughts on the book. And I guess I'm biased because I just love Tia, and I'm a support a Black author through and through. So I'm like, it's great. Everybody read it. So if I had any other feelings about it, I'm not gonna say. But that was a little frustrating for me. But outside of that, if I had to rate her books, from like favorite to I would say The Perfect Find was top. So that was like my favorite. Second was 7 Days in June. I read that with a book club, and we coined this like little phrase, the throb, because the romance of it all. So I would say The Perfect Find, 7 Days in June. A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. I read that, like I said, it came out in 2024. I was living and working in New York, and it was cool to read that because like is based in Harlem. So I felt like, you know, some of the things she was mentioning, I was like, oh, I know where that is or whatever. Well, all of her books are New York based, but it really, you know, I was able to relate with the love song for Ricky Wilde. That one, it confused me in certain parts. So, nah. So yeah, I would, that's kind of middle for me, but The Perfect Find, 7 Days in June, a love song for Ricky Wilde, The Misconnection, and then I would say Audrey and Bash are just friends. That one's YA, and that one was just, I don't know. I think sometimes I try to go back and read like YA books or books that I read when I was younger to see how I feel about it as a 35-year-old. But that one I was like, I couldn't relate. But maybe in my teenage years, I probably would have eaten it up. And then I have not finished The Accidental Diva, so I need to go back and finish that one. But I love Tia Williams's books. I hope that she continues to write books. I think it's great representation of African American culture and business women and career women, like I said, in the city. And I like that she uses like some slang, and usually her characters have like, you know, a fun girlfriend or a friend group, and they always have a nice love interest. And I think that it's great, you know, to show that, hey, Black women deserve love, Black women deserve support systems, communities, and Black women have amazing, powerful jobs and live very nice lives. And then the other parts, if I gave like my con of the book as far as feeling like, okay, y'all be together, I would say I loved closer to the end of the book where you could see where the character Sasha, she like, because she had this trauma where she had to hire the private investigator Wes, and then of course she's on this like quest to find Seat F, but then you see where she kind of is growing and developing and learning herself and knowing that she can rely on herself. And so even though she has like anxiety and, you know, she had to have this private investigator and go through all this stuff, she is coming into her own in a sense of like, whether I find love or not, whether I have a man or not, whether I have, you know, the means to hire this private investigator or whatever, looking for protection and safety in men or in things outside of herself, she's, you know, coming outside more and just not being afraid and doing things that she once enjoyed doing. I think that that was like a really good like hero part of the story for me, and that, and a reminder that, you know, you don't have to always find love outside of yourself or find love in a man or, you know, do all these things that we're told we're supposed to do. You can be your own safety, you can be your own savior, if you will, you can be your own superhero. And so, you know, looking for like this superhero safety in someone coming to save you, but realizing that sometimes people aren't there to save you and you have to save yourself. And so I really loved that part, and I was like, that's right, Sasha. And then like I said, she still got love and she lived a nice luxury life, and I love that too, because Black women deserve. And so those are my thoughts on The Misconnection by Tia Williams. I don't know what my next book will be. I'm trying to figure that out now, what I want to read next. I don't know if it'll be by an African American author or not, which it doesn't matter to me. A good book is a good book. I will say I did, Mara Brock Akil's book. It just came out this Tuesday. I pre-ordered it and it got delivered to my Audible on, I think June the 3rd is when it came out. And let me look really quick because I don't want to mess up the name of her book. Hold on. I haven't started it yet. It kept wanting to start playing. It wanted to start playing when I was in the car a few minutes ago, and I kept saying no, like, because my car, as soon as, you know, it connects to, my phone connects to the car, usually Audible will want to start playing, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Like, I need to sit down and I want to like start it when I'm ready to start it. So I haven't started, but maybe I'll start it this week. But this is Mara Brock Akil's debut novel. It's called The Revelation of Dion Daphne. I think that's what it's called. Forgive me if I'm messing it up. Yes, it came out on June the 30th. It's her debut book, and if you know Mara Brock Akil, then you know that Mara Love her. I follow her on Instagram, and I'm always just amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she gave us Girlfriends, and she gave us Being Mary Jane, and oh gosh, the book that the show that everybody was mad that it was canceled. Love Is, I think that's what it was called, on OWN. Yep, she gave us that. The Game. So many shows that we can credit Mara Brock Akil for being the producer and writer of. And I mean, just so many great shows that, again, show Black women in such a great life, and that we can live multifaceted lives, and we live great lives, and we deserve love and all the things. And so when I saw that she was writing her debut novel, I was like, oh, definitely gonna pre-order that, definitely gonna support, because why not? Like, why wouldn't I? And because she has a track record of greatness. Like, she gave us Being Mary Jane, Love Is, and Girlfriends. Like, why would we not? We know she knows what she's doing. And so anyway, this is the quick description of the book. And then maybe this will be my reason for starting to read it and finishing it in the next few days, so that I can do another video reviewing that book. So according to Penguin Random House, it says, I'm trying to see the description. Okay, it says, what happens when one knock at your door sends your entire world into chaos? When a stranger becomes a lifeline? When the reality you've meticulously curated seems to be a mirage? From the outside looking in, one might say that Dion Daphne had it all, being the beauty editor at a prestigious New York magazine, a boyfriend who could have been plucked out of its model pages, the social life of the upper echelon, and a girlhood steeped in debut balls. And it's more, but I'm not going to read all that. Y'all can look it up. But it says, the revelation of Dion Daphne is at once a deeply moving and provocatively gripping novel that shows when you dig deep enough into the shadows of your life, light can be revealed. It's a novel of broken lovers, a fractured family, and a distant friendship, all